Hello, spooky friends, and today I am going to review one of my favorite shows at the moment. It is available on Hulu and the FX channel, and that is What We Do in the Shadows. I have become obsessed with this show. It is hilarious and very entertaining, and it's about four vampires that live together and their familiar slash bodyguard, and they live on Staten Island. And it's supposed to be like a documentary, but they call it a mockumentary. Um, and it just shows like all the different shenanigans that these vampires do together. It's absolutely hilarious. There's Nadia, Laszlo, Nandor, Colin Robinson, who is an energy vampire, which means that he absorbs people's energy. And then there's Guillermo, who is the familiar slash bodyguard. And oh my gosh, like there is tons of shenanigans and hijinks and just comedy from start to finish. There is not one episode that I have seen that I have not liked about this show. I highly recommend it. However, it's not a show that I would let my child watch. There's some serious language and there's a lot of sexual content. So I would be advised on that. But otherwise, it is a spooktacular show. Absolutely love it. What else can I say? It's not scary at all. It's all comedy. All of it is comedy. There is minimal blood in it. In season one, there was a lot of vomiting. I will say that in season one. But so far, they are into season 3 now. And there's not a lot of blood. There's no gore whatsoever. There's not really any gore. It's not, like I said, it's not your typical vampire movie. Like half the time I forget they're vampires anyway. My favorite of the vampires is Nandor. Guillermo is hilarious. I mean, he makes the show. If they didn't have him in this show, I don't think it would be near as hilarious as it is. The character that plays Guillermo, he does such an amazing job. I mean, it is spot on. The Baron is hilarious. I will just say that. I just finished watching the most recent episode in season 3, and see, I can't even like bring it up without laughing because it's just so hilarious. You have to see this movie if you're a fan of vampire. Even if you're not a fan of vampires, like the stuff that they do is still hilarious, and it would work with like any type of character. They don't necessarily have to even be vampires for some of the stuff that they do and stuff to work. It's just that good. So I highly recommend that you watch it. Like I said, they started on it in 2019, and that's when season 1 first came out. And then due to COVID restrictions, it took them some time, to get through season 2. Now they're on season 3. And again, it's available on Hulu and FX. And I think it comes out on FX on Thursday nights. I could be wrong, but I watch it on Hulu. So I'm not really sure exactly what time it's on FX. So you might want to check that out if you don't have Hulu, but you want to watch it on FX. What else can I say? It's just, there are some other stars that make cameos in it as well. In season 2, I think it is, Paul Reubens makes an appearance. If you don't know who that is, that's Pee Wee Herman. He makes an appearance. Who else? There is just a ton of stars that make an appearances throughout, like just little cameos here and there throughout it. Guillermo is a familiar, but he really wants to become a vampire, and his idol is the character that Antonio Banderas played in Interview with the Vampire. He is obsessed with that character, and so he wants to become a vampire, and he thinks that eventually his master, who is Nandor, will make him a vampire. That's his ultimate goal, is to become a vampire. And so he does everything that he can to make the vampires happy. Laszlo and Nadia are married, and they have several familiars throughout the seasons that never last very long. So they've just accepted Gamel as their familiar as well. Colin Robinson does not need a familiar, but he kind of uses Gamel as a familiar, I guess you could say, more like a bodyguard. Colin's vampire is very unique because like, I think he can eat regular food. Like, he's just this regular person, but yet he is also a vampire. He just drains people's energy. And so in season 1, you get a lot of background on Colin. Like, it walks you through his day at work, and he works at this office, and it really reminded me of the show The Office. If you were a fan of The Office, you're going to be a fan of What We Do in the Shadows, because to me the comedy is kind of similar. Colin doesn't even know what they do at this place that he works at, because he doesn't work. He just walks around and bores people to where they fall asleep. That's how he gets his energy. In season 2, I think it is, he gets a promotion at work and he becomes the boss. And I'm not going to say any more about that episode, but it's one of the more hilarious episodes. My favorite episode so far of all of them is in season 1, and it is the Baron's Night Out. It is my favorite episode yet in all 3 seasons. I think it is the most hilarious. I have watched it over and over because it's my favorite episode. So you have to definitely check it out. Especially, like, if you decide you don't want to watch it, you have to watch that episode. It's season 1, and I think it's called I think it actually is called Baron's Night Out, or it might be The Night Out, or something like that. Yeah, that's, to me, so far, that's been the funniest episode so far. So that's gonna do it for my review on What We Do in the Shadows. My kitty cat just came in. I highly recommend it. As you can tell, I'm excited about this show. I hope they continue on with the series after this series. I think there's a lot of potential for these characters. There's so much more that they could do that's not so outlandish. But I mean, right now some of the episodes are just, you know, I'm like, what? But that's what makes it, you know, so hilarious and so good. Because they thought outside the box with these, a box, get it? A coffin, a box. I didn't even mean that. Okay, anyway, puns aside, it is, you know, they really went beyond your typical vampire show. So definitely check it out. I give it 5 stars. It's definitely a cozy show. It's one that I will cozy up to, get my popcorn, and I can watch. I can binge all 3 seasons, even though I've already seen them. I still will binge them over and over, and I hope that FX and Hulu keep this show going. I really do. So that's going to do it for my review on What We Do in the Shadows. So this is going to wrap up the video for today. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe. Please, I'm begging, please subscribe. And if you have seen What We Do in the Shadows, please let us know down in the comment section below. We would like to know what is your favorite episode and who is your favorite character. So that's going to do it for today's video. And remember, stay spooky, my friends.